And that's another thing too. Like, obviously, if women aren't competing, who's going to want to sponsor Women's Physique? You know what I mean? Like, who's going to want to put up that money for the prize money to be a sponsor for that if we're not competing? That's why it's like so important that we get out there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Because
So,
like I said, you talk. It's tough because you know what? When Physique started, I was a big fan of it. I called it watered down women's bodybuilding.
mhm.
You know, and since doing content interview with ladies like yourself in this division, it really has grown. And I've seen that the fact that I think because like how women's bodybuilding started, you go back to Richard McLeish and Angela Langers and Corey Eversons and Linda Murray's and Iris and them. The vision started to meld closer to women's bodybuilding. Like if you just saw Ashley Jones just won New York Pro.
Right.
She was figure. She earned a pro card as figure competitor, just like Natalia. Then she moved up to physique. Now she's in women's bodybuilding, and now she's going to the Olympia.
Right. Yeah. She
And
definitely has the genetics for women's bodybuilding.
yeah,
That's
I was I was like when she posted this. This is something. So she posted this when she was on her IG, and first word came out of my mouth is like,
yeah.
"Damn."
I know.
I mean, I feel like Ron Simmons from WWE said, "Damn." I mean, holy
That's the
hell.
most conditioned I ever seen her. You know, she's the one. So I lost to her. I took second in Chicago. She took first in 2022. That's the only time that I ever competed with her. But man, I've been a fan ever since. Her shape is just unreal. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a fan of hers too. Also, I think she has a great look to her. I know they talk about she might be a real threat to the champ, but I'm a fan of Andrea.
Yeah, I
It's
love
gonna
her. Yeah,
it's gonna be tough to beat that level of muscle. I mean, it's tough,
she's got a
And
lot of density in her back too that I don't know if Ashley has, but I don't know. It's
yeah,
gonna be yeah.
yeah. Also,
It's,
and you were at Pittsburgh, and they made an announcement that they're going to do a extravaganza for
Mhm.
next year. So it's
Here,
coming.
yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
huge, like an expo and everything. Yeah, and they're moving it. I think like down further than where it was because it was at like the Hilton downtown Pittsburgh. The convention center is right there. The hotel's attached to it. Like that's where it was in 2022. I think they've always had it there. So like it's gonna be at a whole new venue and everything, and they're gonna
so
make a big expo out of it. So it's gonna be even bigger, which is crazy because Saturday night's always huge because those you get the top 10 males are on stage, guest posing. So they bring a big crowd in. It's gonna be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, 'cause I think it might be something a little bit competition, like as you know, the Arnold. He doesn't know how to have women. He
Right. Yeah.
kicked out the Arnold. I used to be a big fan of Arnold when I grew up. We used to watch the movies and stuff. But then doing this content, I hear a lot of stuff about him, and then stuff that people don't understand. The fact that I know Natalia was the last winner for Women's Physique. Then I forgot who was the last winner for figure. I think it was Jessica Reyes Padilla, and I know Iris was the last winner for women's bodybuilding. That's been 10 years. And
That's crazy.
you feel the same thing like women's bodybuilding, your shows are getting smaller and smaller. As you know, now you're not in St. Louis anymore. You have shows like the Puerto Rico Pro is gone. Europa Championship over in Spain is gone. They moved women's bodybuilding to the Imperial, but still, you feel like it's getting small by bit by bit.
Yeah. I I didn't want. I ended up purchasing the live stream, or no, was it free for the Arnold? I think it was free, and that's the
Free,
only
was
reason
free.
I watch it. That's the only reason I watch it because I did. I told my husband I wasn't about to. I didn't want to support the Arnold because we weren't there. I didn't want to pay for it, and now because it was free. That's why we ended up watching it because I love fitness. I still love fitness. Fitness is like I wish. That is what division I would probably do if I had any kind of dance gymnastics background, but I don't. I'm very uncoordinated. The routine part of women's physique is like I get the most nervous about all the time. I get anxiety about it because I'm not good at making that up. I'm not a good freestyle poser. That is the hardest part for me. It's kind of nerve wracking to do a routine because I don't like to just go up there and wing it either. You know what I mean? You definitely want to have a routine plan. And then I always end up screwing it up, even though normally the crowd wouldn't even know that I screwed it up, but in my head I know I screwed it up. But yeah,
Yeah,
um,
yes, it's tough because was it that last Olympia? Missy Trescott, she tore her
oh,
knee up.
oh,
I
gut that was so hard to watch too.
yeah,
Like I just felt so bad. I can't even imagine. I can't even
yeah,
imagine being on that stage and then getting hurt and you can't finish the show. Like,
yeah. I think Whitney Jones, she pulled out her shoulder, and then also
yeah,
at the Arnold, Tamara Vaughn, she just had an incident with her whole face was scraped up. I mean,
Oh my God, I
that's
don't remember that. I don't remember that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah. I know I was like she was like posted. She posted on her IG. I think I seen the link where she was sitting. She was talking and about she just I think she was doing pretty good, but then she had an incident. They might have just took the camera off of it, and you can see her.
Oh, so that we can see it. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. We got some comments here. This is from my man KL the Wonder. He says, "How many shows you compete in this year?"
So this year I did have 4 planned. I did St. Louis and then I did Pittsburgh. And I was taking it show by show. I sent in those 2 contracts early though. So even if I had won St. Louis, I still would have did Pittsburgh because I don't like sending in a contract and like taking it, telling them I can't do the show to take it back. So I didn't send the contract in. I was planning on doing Omaha if I didn't win a show yet. And then Chicago. I was going to end with Chicago. Normally though, 2022 was the first year that I ever did more than 2 shows in a year, and I ended up doing 4 that year. That's why I dieted so long. Savannah, my body was fighting me for like a month before Savannah. It was a rough prep because I dieted all year, and I'll never do that again. I started dieting in January, and I went all the way through like end of October, beginning of November. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. So that's why this year we chose to do the earliest show and just go to July then and stop in July. You know what I mean? Instead of dieting the whole year. I mean, like I said, because I won Pittsburgh, I'm not doing Omaha, and I don't have to worry about taking my contract, telling them to take the contract out because I didn't even send the contract in for that or Chicago. It's just that they were just planned just in case. So yeah, that's why I hope Omaha's big or more numbers, at least 10 or something,
Yeah,
because it's the same weekend as Toronto, so it's like
we got to flip a coin, so it's
yeah,
closer because
no,
you're Michigan, you're a little
yeah.
closer to Canada, but you're not too
And I've
far
done
from
Toronto,
Nebraska.
yes, yeah, but Omaha too. Omaha was 8 hours, and I think Toronto was like 5.5 when we did it. I did Toronto in 2018,
19.
2018, I think it was. And I loved the show. It was pretty awesome. But I don't like that it's on a Sunday. That's the only reason I wasn't going to do it this year. I was going to do Omaha instead because I did love the venue and the show was nice. And Jack and Ann put on good shows. So I was planning on doing Omaha instead of Toronto, only for that fact that Toronto's on a Sunday. It throws everything off. I got to be at work on Monday.
Yeah,
I went to gym, so I got to be here Monday.
I can tell you, I used to hold 2 jobs, and one of my jobs, my first job when I was a kid was like I worked at a gas station until I was like I was 16 till I was 30 till this place closed down. I used to work in textiles, and and then I had a job I worked at night, and it was a gentleman's club, and sometimes we see. It was in South Carolina. South Carolina, you can't sell alcohol after 2 o'clock. So we closed. We closed the club at 2. So I get home, be already in the 3 in the morning. So I can say you don't want to work on Sundays. Here we got some comments here. It's from a man KLA. He says this. He says, "Would you want to move up or move down in another division like bodybuilding or figure?" So as you said again, the divisions are starting to meld a little bit. Even the figure girls looking like more like you saw Sharonica. She just came back and she had a great physique. She looked pretty good, very classic line from she's a multi-time Olympic competitor.
I'm such a fan of her physique. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you consider going up or going down for you, or you staying where you're at?
I started off in figure, and then I moved to women's bodybuilding. This was in 2009 is when I debuted in women's bodybuilding. And women's physique wasn't out yet. I did really good as a female bodybuilder. Like I placed top 5 at every national show I did. I took second at my very first one at USA's. My very first national show, I took second. Like I did really good because my conditioning was always spot on. It's just I was never big enough. And I personally am happy with the size I have now. Sure, I'd like to get my legs to grow a little bit bigger, and my back could always improve. But as far as like adding a lot of more size, that's not what I want. So, I mean, unless the judges say you belong in women's bodybuilding at my size now, I wouldn't do that. No, just because women's physique, like once women's physique came out, my husband is literally the one who said, this is going to be it. This is going to be the division you're going to turn pro in. And I did one show and we won. So, so this is my home. That's what I feel like.
So you mentioned your husband. How long y'all two been together, you and your husband?
So we met in 2007, and we started dating in like 2008, early 2008. And yeah, we got married in 2012. We got engaged after like 6 months. and then we just got married in 2012. So I'm originally from Chicago. So I lived in Chicago my whole entire life. And then I didn't move to Michigan until 2011 because this is where he's from. So yeah. And he took over my diet basically in 2008. And he's been my coach ever since. Yeah.
That's good. You know, it's
Yeah,
good
it works out. He sees me every day. You know what I mean? It's super easy. There's some people who like can't do that. I don't know why. It's tough for them, but it's super easy for me. You know what I mean? Because it's like he sees me every day. He can make changes daily if he needs to. You know what I mean? And he knows how hard he sees me in the gym. He knows how intense I work out. You know, he doesn't have to worry about that. It's just it works for us. I'll just say that it works very well for us.
Well, sometimes it's depending on the couple. Sometimes I know couples that the husband is the coach of the wife, and sometimes the wife is the coach of the husband. Sometimes it works. That sometimes it's a hit or miss. And I
Yeah.
know, except that he's your coach, mainly your coach. And he's working with your nutrition and your workouts like that. And what's your workout routine like for you during the day when you're getting ready?
So actually, so he's never ever done my training. I've always done my training. He's just my like diet cardio supplement guy. He's the one who controls all that. Um, as far as like my split, you're saying workout wise.
Yeah.
So right now I actually just changed it. I started like this week, 20 weeks out, a new program for the Olympia because I am going to try to get my legs up a little bit. The feedback that I got from Sandy in Pittsburgh, she didn't tell me that I needed to, but I want to try to bring my legs up and look a little wider if I can. So I'm going to prioritize legs 3 times a week, and then I'm doing upper body twice a week because my upper body is like there. I don't need to grow anymore in my upper body. So I'm going to just try to maintain and then get these legs to go a little bit.
Yeah, leg day is the worst for any like the episode of I always say it's my favorite episode of Chappelle Show when Charlie Murphy meets Rick James and they go back to Eddie's house and he messes up his couch and Eddie and Charlie beating his legs and that's leg day. But you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crawl on the ground and say, "What are my legs, Eddie Murphy?" It's tough. I mean, and you have more of a slender look. I think more like close to the classic look of Wynn's physique. But like I said, that's important. The judges' critique is always the thing that a lot of ladies fall back on. I think it can hurt or hinder some competitors because sometimes, especially, they want you even to tell the girls in figure to grow bigger, get more lats and like that. And then, when you grow, you just can't stop growing.
Right, I know. And it's hard. Like, I never see what I look like when I look at myself. You know what I mean? Even in Pittsburgh, like until I saw the videos that people were posting or the pictures, I was like, "Holy crap, that's what I look like up there!" Because like I don't see that. This is why I would never be able to coach myself either. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how Michaela Aycock coaches herself because I would never be able to coach myself. I do not see what other people see. You know what I mean? It's our eyes get those prep goggles on. At least mine do. But yeah, I definitely know I can improve. Like I said, the feedback was from Sandy was honestly, she said my conditioning was absolutely perfect. She said, do not do anything more conditioning wise. And then she just said to try to bring my waist in, which genetically, structurally, I've never had a defined waist or an hourglass shape. I've always just been straight up and down. So that's why I'm going to just try to get a little wider and then grow my legs a little bit too so that my waist looks a little smaller.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
we got your comments here. This is from my man Rolando G coming through. Rolando says, Natalie looks great, fantastic physique,
thank
beautiful
you.
woman.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Also, we got here is my man Michael Boyce says, you look like a power lifter.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I did that 1 year.
you ever
I
see
did.
yeah, powerlifting. I think a lot of girls can put on when you do powerlifting. You can get full, like people like Angela Yo. She does powerlifting. I know a
Yeah.
couple ladies that do powerlifting. That can put on a little more size on you, but you don't want to be too big. That's the thing. We got
I
here
did
from
it 1 year to put on size. That's why I actually specifically did a powerlift. I trained as a powerlifter for a good year, and then did a powerlifting meet to add size, and it helped a lot. It's just my joints did not like
yeah.
it.
I can tell you. I can tell you this. I have two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got a tear in the shoulder here.
Oh
I
yeah.
got issues with here in my back. I mean, years of working. Kid coming up. It's just I played football, a lot of stuff. Especially I'm a big dude, so it's your body will start saying, and just in a few months I'm going to be 50 years old, and I wake up in the morning, I feel like You know,
Yep.
he just
Yeah.
put me out of the bed. Here, we got here from Michael Boyce. He says she is the female oak. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, this is from a man, Stephen Prey says, good luck at the Olympia.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
know, it says. And also, this is from KL Wonder says, how long do you work on your posing? So you have a posing coach who you working with?
No, I've always done my own posing, and that's something that I back in the beginning, I always just got complimented on my presentation, so I never really hired a coach. I'm not going to say it's perfect posing, but I do at least 10 minutes a day, starting at like I don't even know, at least 12 weeks out, 10 minutes a day. I do. And this year I kind of did it a little differently to where I used like I don't know if you know what a Tabata is, but it's like a timer where it's 20 seconds of like you do something for 20 seconds and then you rest for 10. You do the exercise for 20 seconds, you rest for 10 seconds. I use that as my posing. Like I would hold the pose for 20 seconds and then rest for 10 and then get right back into the pose, hold it again for 20 seconds. Because in 2022, a couple shows I did, they really put us through the ringer up there. Like we were posing for 7 minutes straight, 8 minutes straight. Jack Sullivan's known for that. He'll put you through like a lot of posing. And it was in Omaha. It was like a full set, almost 8 straight minutes of straight posing for our comparisons. I was dying. I was dying. So yeah, I wasn't used to that. So yeah, I wanted to get my conditioning up for posing at least this year, just in case, because I didn't know who the judges were going to be at these shows. So, and it helped. I think it helped a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, because people don't realize that people, especially those guys who are fans of you ladies and fans of the sport, we don't realize that on that stage you're dehydrated, you're hangry, you're half past dead. I mean, I know I've seen video clips where women faint on stage. I mean, if you were ladies who fainted years ago to Olympia, people need to understand that it's tough, especially for a woman to raise level of muscle. Then you're on stage, you're posing, you have to keep that smile, Yeah, like how my other guy likes to say, let's put a smile on that face.
Yeah.
And that is the tough part about it. Folks, if you want to follow Mrs. Wolfe here, her social media stuff is in the description. We're gonna go into her IG, look at some stuff. I know you guys are where you got to look for, because I know you guys, your pervs out there. You love these buff chicks. You get excited about them. But guys, I have a rule for you, and this no offense to you, Natalie. I tell this every time, verbatim. No D pics. She has a husband.
Yes, please.
You
I will ignore you,
no,
block you.
yes, because I've been doing this stuff. Ladies tell me, George, this guy's saying some weird shit. I say, what? I mean, I said stuff like maybe something to make you laugh, something like that. But I wouldn't see my so
Yeah.
I, that's not me. I'll speak that way. So folks, we're gonna